Hey guys, so this is an updated video to the London Breakout Strategy that I've been trading successfully for the last 3 years. It is so simple that even a beginner to Forex can pick this up and become immediately profitable. Let's watch the video, and please do post your backtesting results in the comments section because I would love to share your success with everybody else. Let's jump straight to the video, and thank you very much for watching.
Hey guys, so it's been about a year since the last video which I did on the London Breakout session. Now that video was a fantastic hit, so first of all thank you to everybody who's liked and subscribed and written anything in the comments. Everything's been so valuable to me. It's really helped propel my channel forward. So what I wanted to do was go through that video with a little bit more detail for you so you can really get on board with probably one of the most successful trading strategies on the internet for free, which is consistently profitable. Now, much like what I said in the previous video, this strategy wins about 60% of the time, and in terms of winning, it wins 1.5R, so 1.5 times your return, which means that if you're going to be risking £100, you're going to be making £150 if you win. Same with dollars, $100 risk for $150 reward. Something which I didn't do in the previous video, and it was pointed out quite kindly by some people in the comments, was that I didn't lay out any of the rules actually on the screen, so that's what we're going to do first. I've written out the rules very clearly here, so take a screenshot and let me know what you think about it. So put something in the comments if you think that there's something which we can add to this, but the whole purpose around making a set of rules is that you follow it religiously, meaning that you do not break your rules, because if you do, that's where trades start going wrong. So I'm just going to talk through these first. So the Asian session isn't typically midnight until 7 AM GMT, but that is the Asian range which I tend to use for this strategy because volatility is extremely low during this time frame. So effectively what I mean is that price doesn't move very often on the charts. It doesn't make really erratic moves very often. The highs and lows need to be marked out to include the wicks. So with this little example which I've made here, I've drawn a box around the Asian session, and I've got the low and I've got the high over here. Okay, so what we're looking for is a break of either the high or a break of the low. So you're just marking out just to make it easier for you with trading. Now you can use a horizontal ray to shoot across the screen, so even if you get into the session a little bit later, you can still just look back without having to figure out whether or not it actually broke or not. So you can use that. Typically speaking, you're going to be putting a stop loss of about 10 pips. Now, it's not an exact science, so you can't risk typically just 1% per trade. You're going to be risking some days 0.7%, other days 1.5%, but the probability plays out, and especially at a 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio, it's extremely profitable over the long term. Okay, and this is without a doubt a set and forget strategy. Now, what a lot of people do with trading, and I have fallen victim of this myself recently with my FTMO challenge, I have tried to monitor my trades when I know that they are set and forget strategies. You basically pull the trigger and walk away, and you'll get an alert on your phone later in the day to say if you took profit or if you took a stop loss. It is on the 5-minute candles. So what we're doing is we're using the 5-minute candles over here, and it's also strictly the pound American dollar. Now, I have been asked a few times in previous videos what other pairs can this be used with, and dollar CHF is also pretty useful with this, but I specialize mostly in the London breakout session. For the entry, what we want to do is we are waiting for a body close outside of the range. Okay, so I'm just going to draw on the chart what I mean. Let's say, for example, price is going to break upwards and we get a break. Now that's fantastic. Okay, so we've got a break outside the range, and our entry is on the close of that candle. Okay, so our entry would be here. Our stop loss, when we move back to our rules, our stop loss is behind the nearest swing. Okay, so the nearest swing is effectively when you work backwards on the chart. So let's zoom in here a little bit to make it a little bit clearer. So your stop loss is going to be behind the nearest swing. So working downwards, you're looking to see where price typically it moves like a swing. So this would be your swing, this would be the next swing, this would be the next swing, and down there would be the low or the other swing. So effectively your stop loss is going to be going just behind here, maybe a pip or half a pip behind. Okay, your entrance is right here, so you get involved in the market right on the close of this candle, and bear in mind, you know, you're going to have a 1 second or a 2 second delay, and that's all right. It tends to play out in your favor, and your stop loss is going to be based here, and we're going to be targeting on the charts in a second, in the live charts, a 1.5 risk reward. Okay, and we're not going to be paying attention to anything like market structure. We're not going to be looking at what other candles happen during the Asian range. It is literally a set and forget strategy, and you don't have to think about too much. So this is really ideal for beginner traders. It's people who are just getting involved in Forex. If you want to have something which you are going to be winning 6 out of 10 times and you're going to be growing your account gradually, this is the perfect strategy for you. So what there is though is a exception, and this is something which I've learned over time. I've learned the hard way, and you don't get involved if it's actually a pin bar wick reversal. So what I mean by that is this is representing an extremely strong bullish candle. Okay, so it's a blue/green candle. There's no wick at the bottom, there's no wick at the top. It's just showing extremely strong momentum going in our favor. Now let's say, for example, price went up and it worked its way back down, and we got a very, very small candle in the end, but the wick ended up looking something like this. Okay, we do not want to enter on a candle like that, and the reason being is that when you see a wick which is pretty much twice the length of the body of the candle, that is an extremely strong reversal situation, especially when it's breaking out of a zone. Now, I've done other videos on breakouts and reversal strategies, and I'll link them in here somewhere up in one of the corners and also in the show notes. But if you want to see more about that, just have a look at one of those videos. But for the purpose of this video, if we come across something which is clearly a pin bar, we're not going to enter, because you will lose more than you win. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the charts. Now,
hey guys, I hope you don't mind this quick interruption. Just a quick note to say that if you're liking the video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and maybe pay it forward by passing it on to somebody who you know is looking to get involved in trading. Back to the video.
Something which I will use sometimes just to help me mark out the charts and to indicate where the session time is, something which I would recommend for you to do as well, is I'll use an indicator and I will type in session. So it will be sessions on chart, it will be basically any of these where it just says sessions, something which is indicating where you can put in the Asian range. Now I've selected one called session D, which is really good. So you can change the style, you can change the colors and everything, but you can also change the input for the hours. Okay, so I've just highlighted the Sydney session, and I've put the Sydney session. Bear in mind this is using a different time zone, so I'm in GMT at the moment. So what I wanted is for it to be 12 AM in the morning, which is the equivalent to 7 PM at whatever time frame this is. With all of that set up, all what you do is you show the indicator and it appears on the chart like this. Now with this one in particular, what you can do is you can literally just have it mark up the whole section. Okay, so during this time and this time is the whole of the Asian range. But what I like to do is I like to see on the charts just an outline as to where the highs and the lows are, because it just helps me with my trading a little bit easier. So we're going to do this first one here, and I'll tell you what, we're going to use the bar replay tool so we can't see what's coming next. I don't want any cheating going on, and we're going to do 10 of them, maybe 5. Depends how long this video goes on for. So we're going to do the bar replay tool, and I'm also going to mark out on the charts, a little bit like what I was suggesting to everybody, the highs and lows using the horizontal ray, just to make it a little bit clearer. So, you know, the high is all the way over here, and yes, it's indicated by the blue line, but if we get to over here, it's going to get a little bit tiring. So we're just moving forwards, and it looks as though we're going to get a break, and we didn't. So what a lot of people do with the London breakout session is they recommend that you either fade the breakout which is essentially once price reaches here, you set a buy order to basically buy back into the range. Now I'm going to do a separate video on that where I'm going to go and backtest about 30 days worth of data and give you all of the results in full. I don't believe that that strategy is the best strategy out there. I believe this one is one of the best. And what we don't do is we don't set a pending order to trade our way out. Now at 8:20, an hour and 20 minutes into the session, we have got our break. If you remember the rules at the start, we set our order on the close of this candle. Our stop loss goes behind the nearest swing, which is up here, and our target is going to be 1.5. So we want to be getting 1.5 back. And the reason why it's set and forget, by the way, is that imagine if you're just sat at your charts right now, just watching price go halfway towards your target. So if it's 1%, which you're going to be making, you've just gone up 0.5%, which is more than what a lot of traders will make in a week. So you'll go up, 0.5% within about 5 minutes, and then it comes back to your break even. You don't want to move your break even, you don't want to move your stop loss. You just literally, as soon as you get that break, walk away and wait for the result, okay? Because it can be painful. If this comes, so it's come back again. Now, could you imagine if you got stopped out here? If it goes against you, you might feel good and think, oh, I avoided that one. But in reality, if it goes down to hit your target, you're going to feel very gutted. And I've been there so many times. I'm literally just talking from experience. So let's keep on going. There we go, it's going back against us now. And we hit our target, okay? On our first run, we have got a win. Okay, so I'm just going to mark on here that we've got a win so we can keep track. There's our first win, and that was achieved within 3 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, so another reason why you don't want to be sat at your charts is that would be a painful 3 hours and 40 minutes to just sit and watch, because it came back to your entry once, twice, 3 times, and it went into the red. If you just stopped yourself out on break even, you would not have made that win. Okay, so there's our first win. And if you don't mind me saying at this stage, guys, if you're liking the content at the moment, please do like and subscribe, because it really helps get this content out to the rest of the people on YouTube, and it will help grow this channel, which is what I want to do in the future. And look, if you do have any comments, please do put them in the comment section, because I will get back to you. So let's move on to the next one. First of all, thank you for that. Let's move on to the next one. Let's go quite quickly as well. I do love how the charting software does this for you. It's all the hard work done, which is great. And for anybody who's new to trading, this software is called TradingView, and I'll put a link in the description as well. And if you use my link, I think we both get a perk from it, so that's pretty decent. Okay, so let's mark out our highs and lows again, just in case we're waiting for a little bit. Looks like we're probably not going to. And let's just look for the break. There we go, we got the break really quickly. So within 25 minutes, we got our break of the day, so our second break in total. We put our entry right at the very start, and then behind the nearest swing is our stop loss. And bear in mind where I said that 10 pips is 1% of your account. That's because with this one it's 11 pips, so technically it would be 1.1% of your account. And if we go back to here, that was 15 pips, so that would be 1.5% of your account, which means that you would technically make I think it's 2.25% profit that day, which is superb. Okay, so we're gonna set out a 1.5 profit. Now you don't have to worry about how far it looks on the chart unless you've got a stop loss, which is about 30 pips or so. Okay, so we're just going to carry it on. There we go. That's why you do not sit and watch the charts, because you'd be panicking at this stage. And there we go. Almost straight away it slammed straight into our profit, so we're going to mark on here win. Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to tally this up in a little bit as well, so we can see the end result. And with a 1.5%, we're going to see exactly how much you would make on a, let's say, $100,000 FTMO account, which is currently what I'm doing my challenge on. I'm using this strategy. Let's clear these off the chart, make it a bit clearer for the next day. So that's 2 wins in a row, which is fantastic. Sorry guys, I clicked off the chart there by accident, pressed the wrong button on my keyboard, and it jumped across to gold, which is not what this strategy is for, being strictly pound US dollar. Let's see when we can get our breakout. Now this is ranging for a while. This candle broke, but it didn't break outside of the range, okay? So it broke out. So if you had a pending order to reverse, you'd be struggling right now. If you had a pending order to get in, you'd have got a few pips extra compared to what you're currently going to get, but it's not worth the risk, okay? Because it does reverse and bounce around a few times. So what we're going to do now is we've got the entry. I don't call this a pin bar reversal because it's only a third of the whole candle. So we are going to get involved on the very next candle. Our stop loss is going to be below here, which is the nearest swing. So if we remember working backwards, we're looking for the swing in the market, and the swing being here, another swing being there, another swing being here. Okay, so it goes behind the nearest swing, and we are going to set our target to, let's get rid of that, 1.5. There we go. Let's see how we get on. See how it's just bouncing off that range, by the way. So when you're doing this strategy, quite often, is it going to take us out? Let's see if that's taken us out. It hasn't. It's not looking positive, guys. Let's get it to speed up for us. Wow, you would have had to have waited all night to get your win. Okay, so that one was a win, but it took a long time to get there. Another reason not to be in front of your charts. So let's put this down as a win. So that's, I think, 3 wins in a row. Tell you what, we'll only do 5 of these because this video will take absolutely ages. But you guys, go back and backtest this, do it over like a 10-day period, and post your results in the comments section. So I want to know how many wins you got, how many losses you got, and what risk reward ratio you did. So if you did 1 to 1, 1.5 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, etc. So let me know how you got on. Okay, so quite a steep Asian session, which is not uncommon. But what I do like about the Asian session sometimes is that it will be very, sometimes it will be a very, very narrow range, which makes it really quite simple, because you know that when price consolidates, once it's been in a big sort of trend and it starts consolidating, it will soon just burst out of that zone, and that's where you can pick up loads of pips. Let's see when we get the break. Would we class this as a break? Nope, it's exactly on the line. Pin bar. There we go. Now we've got the break on this candle. Now, in some of my strategies, I say this creates a new high, and I would move the Asian range to match it. But in this strategy, I don't. Okay, so we literally just go based on there. The nearest swing is here, and our target is 1.5. Okay, let's see how we get on. Taken out. Taken out within 25 minutes. Another reason as to why you don't want to be sat at your charts, because that would be painful. So let's go for our last day. Let's see how we get on day 5. We have got nearly a break. So again, we've got a pin bar, which we're going to be cautious of. We've got a price rejection, another rejection, and we've got our break, and the break looks more convincing now, which is good. We are going to set our entry right there, our stop loss just behind that swing, and we are going to target 1.5 to 1, which is, let's call that 1.5. Couldn't get it quite right. There we go. So within this one, within 20 minutes, you'd have hit your target, which is fantastic. And with your stop loss on that being 17.5 pips, that would technically be 1.75% of your account that you're risking, which means that you would be winning, 2.2.5-ish, something like that, 2.5%. So let's just go back. Okay, let's put on there that it's a win. Okay, so let's zoom out on the charts and see how we got on. That was a win, that was a loss, I forgot to write that on there. Now bear in mind, I'm saying to you that this wins 60% of the time on 1 to 1.5. So we've got 1 win, we've got 2 wins, we've got 3 wins, we've got a loss, and we've got another win.
Hope you don't mind this quick interruption just to say if you're enjoying the video so far, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have any questions or if you'd like me to cover any other strategies, leave a comment in the section below and I'll probably cover that video for you in the very near future. Thanks again and enjoy the rest of the video.
Let's calculate this. So we're going to do it as if it's the FTMO challenge. So we're getting the calculator up. We're going to use $100,000 plus 1.5% equals, and then our second win was plus 1.5% equals, then plus 1.5% equals. So after 3 days you would be up, generally about 4.5%, then minus 1% equals, and then plus 1.5%. So after 5 days, you would be up on your account just over 5%, which is phenomenal. After a week's worth of trading, you're up 5%. If you did this over the period of say 20 trading days, typically speaking, it looks like you'd be up about 20%. So that's 20% in a month, just doing a really easy basic strategy, which you can do every single day. There are some days where you won't be able to take trades, for example, where you get those pin bar rejections and you say, I'm not entering. And typically speaking, if you look to enter after 11 AM in the morning, about 4 hours after the European session starts, it tends to lose its momentum. So I tend not to trade after 11 AM if I haven't entered the market already. But guys, look, it's been a year since I created this last video, and I really hope that this has helped clarify some of the questions that you had before. And look, if it's been helpful to you, please do like and subscribe. I'm doing several videos on the London Breakout session and several variants of the London Breakout session. I cover a lot of breakout trading in general, and I'm also going to be covering other elements like the stochastics, the RSI and Bollinger Bands. So there's other strategies which I have used in the past, and I'm constantly learning new strategies which I'm just kind of making up as I go along and just seeing what works and what doesn't. And I do cover more pairs than the pound US dollar. So guys, once again, thank you so much for your time, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and please do drop your comments in because I love chatting to you. Thanks again, have a great day and happy trading.